Welcome back, everybody. What if I told you that your bookshelf has a great, great, great grandparent? Meet Incunabula, the first European printed books. They're older than your country, and frankly, they look amazing for their age. Um, basically, an incunable, which is the singular version of incunabulum, is a book, pamphlet, or broadside printed in Europe before 1501. So basically 1450s through the year 1500, the cradle years of print. Cradle, literally incunabula, comes from the Latin for nursery gear. Isn't that cute? So yeah, let's take a look at a few of them so everyone has a point of reference. So we're gonna crank up that screen share. Screen share. We're screen sharing. Yeah. So it's coming up. There it is. So they pretty much look like this. Two-column approach. They're usually, um, well, they're different from book to book, honestly. Usually lavishly illustrated like this. That's some crazy artwork going on there. All right, and then we have interesting font choices, huge margins, and then we have tiny font margins and also interesting font choices. Look at those margins, so big. All right. So where to next? Well, why 1500? No printers didn't have high five at midnight and push a software update. The year 1500 is a handy line in the sand. Early 1500s bring more title pages, consistent imprints, and pagination. So before 1501 is incunable, after is post incunable. Same presses, slightly fewer training wheels. Um, so the post incunable years is like 1501 to 1520, some arguments going up to the 1540s. It really varies. And let's take a look at some other examples. And we're going to go back to the screen share. We're going to be going back and forth. You're just going to have to bear with it because it is what it is. If you have a screen share song, I'd like to hear about it in the comments. Perhaps we can make it official and consistent. Haha. So yeah, written in Latin, it looks like. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Very stained, but it's very, very old. Here is a interesting book on the subject matter itself. And again, we saw this in the previous example. And then we have, it's blurry, but you can tell. But again, so much margin, so much. Alrighty. So out of the screen share we go. Um, So Mainz from 1450s is a movable metal type and it takes off. Hello, Gutenberg Bible. The printing spreads like a coffee spill across Europe, Italy, France, the Low Countries, Spain, Switzerland. By the 1480s, even England and friends join the party. It's the Renaissance version of going viral, essentially. And let's take a look at some of those little bit different examples. So back to the screen share, save the day. Maybe. Screen share in. This is the way we screen share, and we're here. Um, yeah, this is more of a singular page. It's very clean, this one. And then we'll go to an actual book example. Little warped, but that's okay. Again, from the 1500s. And here are the printing towns, which is pretty cool, of the incubula periods. And give you guys a little bit of a moment. If you need to pause to look this over in its entirety, feel free to do so now. And we're going to pick it back up. And here is a different example by decade. We got the 1450s to the 1460s, 1470s. Those little dots are getting bigger. 1480s here, 1490s, and 1500. So basically one blip, couple of blips. Oh no, getting worried in the 70s, the 80s, and then the 90s, and then the 1500s we finish up. So yeah, it catches on pretty much. So how many of these books survived? There's about 30,000 editions are known. Surviving copies, roughly 500,000 worldwide. So not only child, but any single edition or a juicy annotated copy can be rarer than a quiet library printer. So let's take a look at some more examples. And we're back to the screen share, 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 share. This is the way we share. So this bookshelf is pretty cool. Um, yeah, we're here. Cool. They come in different shapes and sizes, from really large in this top left here to tiny, tiny in the center one here. And they have hub spines. Those are just little hubs right here. See them better. And some on the white book here and down here. They look old, don't they? Oh, well, they are old. That's why. But that is a beautiful bookcase, and you could tell they put this in a glass case bookshelf. Over here, looks like somebody's Amazon warehouse, and if they are, they're filthy rich. Some kind of handwritten cataloging we got going on, and they stickered them. Shame. Maybe it's an auction. Might be an auction. And we're going over here. Again, we got these lavish illustrations and the gigantic margins. And here's much cleaner examples. Probably page scans is what these are. Alrighty. So we're going back out to me. Yay, I know. I know you'd rather see the books. Um, so what do they look like? I mean, you've seen some examples, but they're basically medieval vibes with modern swagger. Often no modern title page. Don't panic. Please don't panic. And it starts with incipit and ends with the uh, colophon. Rubrication, decorated initials, and sometimes hand-colored woodcuts. Uh, Page layouts that whisper manuscript, not mass market. Are also marginalia. Early readers had takes. They used the margins. They certainly did. So let's take a look at some of those examples. And we're going to the screen share, 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 share. Ta-da! Again, this page comes up quite a bit as far as examples go. I have no idea what it says, but it looks fancy McFancerson. And then we have some colored illustrations over here. Some kingly type individual, looks like a lady of the land. These servant girls have weird smirks on their face. I don't know if this woman's going to get executed or what. I'm basing that off the guy with the sword over here. And then we have some screaming birds. So, don't know. I just made all that up based off the imagery. Don't know what happened to that lady. Maybe she lived. Who knows? And we got this town. It's very stylistically interesting, but it's very cool. Got this gigantic flowing waterway and then these roads leading up. Very, very cool. And let's go back. So, um, what counts in debates? Incunable equals printed. Manuscripts don't count. Block books. Some people say yes, some say movable type only. Either way, movable type is the headline innovation. Basically, the USB-C, which is a computer term for of the 15th century. So let's take a look at some even more examples, and these certainly do count. Screen share. You could do it. I believe. Do you believe? Clap your hands if you believe. Alrighty. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. I like how he's touching the fire. Or maybe he's creating the fire. I don't know. Trumpets. I don't know what that looks like, a musical instrument, but okay. Going on. Very colorful. So much color going on here. That's beautiful, actually. And then what do we have over here? Just some general script. And then we have this. Oh, his face got damaged, it looks like. That's okay. Still pretty cool looking. Alrighty, so um what was I saying? Oh, why they matter. Um Well, they matter a great deal, not just from a historical perspective, but they're works of art essentially. It's they represent the ground zero for the information revolution. Books get faster to make, cheaper to share, and wider in reach. Incunable are the prototype era, you could say. You can literally watch publishing learn to walk. It is literally, oh, we got this technology, but how do we use it? Let's figure it out. So they turbocharged ideas from theology to astronomy to poetry. And it's a basis of sharing information without an individual going to a far off destination to do so. Because I remember the 1500s, you got to travel on horseback and or walk. Maybe get lucky with a carriage. Maybe. No printing press, no internet memes. You're welcome, world. We have these guys to thank for the memes. So there you go. So let's take a look at some even more examples. Screen share. And we're sharing. Maybe. Where'd it go? Let's try that again. Share, share, share. Sharing, you're breaking my heart today. Here we go. All right, so yeah, this is what printing presses look like. It's pretty cool. I don't know if there's a sword there. Maybe somebody gets out of line and wants to go to lunch early. But anyway, literally pressing the pages, ink to page, essentially. And you got some kind of bindery going on over there. Maybe he's proof checking. This guy in the back's got a stack of books on his heads. I think that's a crucifix on the wall. Pretty neat. And you got the guy picking out the individual letters here and a couple over here. And a small fella. I don't know, but probably need tiny hands to do tiny hand jobs. So, what we got going on here? This looks hmm. Well, this centerpiece is definitely religious in nature. I don't know if that's a probably a Bible reference. These other two, I'm not sure on. But anyway, oh, there's that cool picture again. And then we have your basic just incunable text going on here. Back out of the screen share for just another moment. Don't worry, we'll be going back to it to look at more pretty pictures. Um, there are some pretty clear-cut famous examples. You've got the Gutenberg Bible from 1455. I mean, it's the mic drop proof of concept, essentially. You've got the Nuremberg Chronicle coming out in 1493. It's got lavish pictures written in both Latin and German. Um, you've got Edio Princess of Classics, ancient texts getting their first print passports. So yeah, let's take a look at some of those. Doo doo. And my watch time's going to go up because I take forever to screen share. But that's okay. You guys can stick around for the juicy pictures. I get it. I think this is from the Gutenberg Bible. Very clean. Very colors are very pop off a lot. Yeah, speaking of pretty colors, looks like we got some garden vine thing going on, and it's even covering up some of the words. Interesting. We got some black and white illustrations here. Got the Nuremberg here. Very cool. Then we've got some text examples with some little highlights going on here. So popping out of that screen share again. Languages and where to see them. Latin's going to dominate the language of the books. It's the pan-European market for the win, essentially. But vernaculars show up in English, German, French, and Spanish. Uh, to ogle them in real life or online, British libraries, Bodleian, the Vatican, the BSB, plus university special collections, and digital exhibits. Um, and here's a search pro tip. If you type in Incunabula or ISTC numbers, you can see images online just like I'm showcasing today. So let us take a look at some of those. Oh, this one's cool. You can't see it though, because I'm not screen sharing. And you hate me right now. If you hate me, leave a comment in the description saying you hate me. I love comments, even the ones that say you hate me. So we got this. I think this is a cluster of grapes, maybe. You got some pretty little red, rosy, little tiny flower bush things here. Neat. And we have this, looks like a copy, maybe. Maybe. Oh, look at this. This is what a professional library looks like. She's got her headphones on, a computer. He's just, I don't know what he's doing over there. Those lamps, man. Gigantic. Then over here, their desk is amazing. That plastic glass thing going on. This place is very clean. It's like serial killer level clean. I like the library cart. I want to steal it. And that one. They're empty. I don't know. I think this is a ploy for a serial killer's headquarters, doubling as a library or bookstore, because there's very little books around. There's nobody else around either. We're gonna stop the screen share. We're gonna leave that horrible place. Um, yeah, so we're gonna go on to more of a collectory aspect. Um, so collecting and handling. The value lives in the provenance and the bindings and the completeness and the content of the book. You got to have pretty much a copy with a great backstory or a 15th century doodle, which is amazing. It's like the chef's kiss of that because you got a person, whatever's on their mind, they're just doodling in there. And they're surprisingly robust. That rag paper that they're made out of is very tough, and you got to handle them with clean hands, decent support, usually like a book cushion or something equivalent, and a very calm heartbeat because there aren't many of these things out there left. So we're going to hop back into the screen share, share. That one. Yeah, very pretty. Got a lot of pretty going on here. A little bit of fading there, but that's, again, all these books kind of get a pass for their damage. It's just, we're happy to have them exist. That is a snake. I like how it's like about to bite him. Then we got creepy glove guy giving the claw hands. Who gives claw hands like that? This guy's like, back away. Stay away from me, Satan. Then you have, I don't know, Lucifer the Snake there. Um, Going on, we got this. That's still sparkly after all this time. That's amazing. Anyway, and then haha, big book. Ugly sticker. Hate stickers. Stickers are the bane of my business essentially. I hate them with a passion. So, where to next, Johnny the Book Shepherd? Well, let me tell you. Um, so some jargon that I've mentioned. Incunable, which is printed to the 1500s, and it's basically Latin for cradle. Incipit is opening lines. Colophon is the end credits, which is the place, date, and printer. And post Incunable is 1501 to early modern prints, going up to the 1540s. Some people like to cut it off at the 1520s. Um, so let's look at some examples of those. And we're screen sharing. Insert epic jazz music here. Give me your jazz hands if you want to see it appear. All right, you did your job. Yeah, you've seen that image enough. That is gorgeous. Whatever this is supposed to be of, I don't care what it is. It's very, very pretty. Kind of want a rug like this. Um, 1 of 100. Interesting. Got a squiggle here. I don't know if it's actual signature. I think this is a reprint. Interesting choice. And then we have, which is edited by blah, decorations. 303 copies were printed. Okay. That is an odd number, 303. And then Marymount, Boston, Massachusetts. Interesting. So again, I think this is a reprint of an Incunable book that they limited to 303 copies. So, what are we going to talk about next? The takeaway. Yeah. Incunabula, which is the plural, are and were manuscript culture that printed the culturist's first bump. They're the blueprint for everything your bookshelf became. If you love books, this isn't just old stuff. It's the moment reading went mass market and humanity never looked back. We're going to take a look at a last pairing and got some of the cooler pictures here. or different type of pictures. They're all cool. So again, we got this person again with the crucifix. So funny. Little devils back there making books over here. And then yeah, a couple pages. Now, this is really cool to me. You've got these illustrations on the page edges. They don't do this like they used to. I mean, it's just fully they feel alive. It gives them a little bit of personality. You got the buckles and the latches. Really cool stuff. Very, very cool. And yeah, that's gonna do it. We're gonna end the screen share. No more screen sharing and hopping back and forth. So yeah, if you like what I did with this video and you want to see more of this type of stuff, or you want a continuation of maybe some words I went over, like the colophon without crying, leave COL down in the comments. Or if you want to see some post Incunable books, we can do a video on that. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Always like hearing feedback from you guys. I have a Patreon going. We're getting a book club started this January, and so if you get in early, you can get slotted to suggest your book early. We also got some other cool content that's just for Patreon members over there, and a couple of meetings. It's really cool. I love the people there, and they've been supporting me since the get-go pretty much. Awesome people. So yeah, if that's your bag and you want to support me in what I do, feel free to check out the Patreon. The link will be in the description. And I think that is going to do it for today's episode. Is it? Am I done? Am I screen share one last time? Did I lie to the audience? No, I'm not, but keep on booking on.